Good evening. Good evening. Welcome, one and all. Thank you for joining us on our online magazine program. So, what is? The series is based upon the hair and beauty industry, encapsulating all aspects of hair, makeup, skincare, latest trends, culture specific products, etc. In previous episodes, we have looked at natural hair care, hair loss, men's hair grooming, as well as children's hair care. We've had a plethora of leading industry experts, from locticians to beauticians, from hair scientists to Instagram stylists. And, we've had a great feedback from all of you who join in on our online magazine. We really appreciate you. So tonight we are looking at wigs, weaves and lace frontals, my favorite. Not we will be discussing I know, Lolly, we will be discussing new techniques and how real they look in 2021. So first of all, let me say good evening to my co-host and the lovely DJ and presenter, DJ Lolly.
Good evening, Nick.
Good evening, Lolly. How are you?
How are you doing? Looking very dapper in your shirt tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
If I'd have known, I would have put something on like to match.
Well, you know what, Lolly, you don't need to try. You
that
are
was
just
a bit of a
naturally
mouthful
presentable.
before that intro.
What's that?
That intro was a bit of a mouthful before.
Yes, it was. It was. Even after the second take, right? I tell you guys, if you see what goes on behind the scenes, you would you'd have a field day. But anyway, we're here, we get it right, and like I said, we hope to give you a fun-packed show today. We have some leading industry experts again for you today to discuss all things. Now, Lolly, before we begin, what can you tell me about lace frontals? Now, I was under the impression that it's like a judge wears.
What that? Now, see, this is where you're going too far now.
Okay.
Those ones just sit on top. They don't.
Right.
I tell you what. Can I let you into a secret?
Please.
Let's let you into a little secret. Yeah.
Is that a lace front?
It is.
Wow.
Yeah.
You see, that's
and I got edges too, like we did the other day. We got edges too.
See, that's what I've learned, Lolly. You learn something every day. Because when I heard lace front, I always assumed that lace front was something like when the judges wear and it's kind of looks rolled up at the front and it looks just like it's just stuck there.
They've come a long way.
Yes.
Since the early days, and it's become. It does for some reason. There seems to be a lot of men that have issues with them. Half the time they don't even know. But it seems to be more of an issue that which I'd like to talk to our guests about, actually. An issue about black women wearing. But believe it or not, there are tons and tons of European women that wear them. I mean, the lace front, it's filtered down from actually film. So if I say to a film that probably everyone's seen, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes.
You remember when he put the face on and it looked like the hairline. So they actually come from the movie industry, and they've just sort of like filtered their way down to, for just the Joe public to use. And it hasn't stopped at women.
Mm-hmm.
It's even gone on to men now, which we'll hopefully be discussing a bit later as well.
Well, it goes to show what I know, Lolly. What do I know? I'm only a man. I know nothing. As I said, I always associate it with that kind of judge look. And if you said to me, this is a lace front that I'm wearing now, I would have never believed you. So there you go. I stand corrected, and I look to be educated this evening. So, our guest, Lolly, what have we got in store for them tonight?
So we have a few guests this evening. So we've got all different ladies from different types of the hair industry. We have somebody who is actually a wig maker who creates them, somebody who's learned from YouTube. We've got all different type of ladies. So I think we should go on ahead and start bringing up our first guest.
Our first guest.
What do you reckon?
Yes.
I like, what I like, Tricky? I like sometimes when you give somebody an intro, you may not cover the right parts about them. I like people to be able to express who they are on this show.
Should I give her an intro?
Let's go on then. If you must.
I don't know if it's going to work though. Let me see if I can.
See,
Where is she?
I like this. It's like our first guest. Our very first guest this evening is actually Verona. Verona, are you there? Good
Hi,
evening.
Oh,
I was dancing to that, man. Where's the music?
you hear you definitely wear your hair back and forth, Rhoda.
Yeah, back and forth.
And
Good
ladies and gentlemen, you
evening.
will recognize Verona. She's been on our program before. She's the founder of Afro Hair Growth Challenge on Insta. You can see all her details at the bottom there. Verona,
Indeed.
welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You look
Thank you for joining
fantastic.
us.
Oh, thank you.
Love
Me
that
old
necklace.
age.
Love that necklace, by the way, as well,
Oh,
Rhoda.
thank you very
Very
much.
snazzy.
Get a bit stylish. So,
Indeed. Indeed.
yeah.
So,
How are you
so
two?
Verona,
Doing great.
Thank you very much. Very well. Very well. Thank you.
Good.
so we had you on before, and
Mhm.
this we tonight we're specifically looking at wigs and weaves and lace frontals and things like that. And I know that you are a wig maker yourself.
Mhm.
You teach as well. You've been teaching in India, in the US, and around
Yeah.
Europe as well.
China,
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
Um,
Do you teach wig making as well?
Yeah,
Or
I teach you how to make it from scratch on the sewing machine, strand by strand. So I've got company in China, India, where I do the quality control.
yeah,
There's nothing I don't know about wigs. I was taught by a Jewish lady about 22 years ago. And I wanted to learn when Beyonce was hanging upside down. And one of my clients like, what is that? So I got to find out, and I learned it not with um, the needle and thread, but with a
hmm.
sewing machine. And we have a special tool where we put the strands in two by two or one by one. So yeah, I'm really passionate about it and how they look and everything like that. But it's gone from strength to strength. So I've been all around the world.
So I'm going to ask you the question, Verona. So as we
Mhm.
were, Nico and myself were talking earlier, what's your sort of ratio client base? I mean, what sort of demographics are they?
In terms of wearing wigs and
Yeah.
well, my clients, I mean, most of them depends what they're doing. I mean, 80% of my clientele is of high profile.
Hmm.
So, some of them wear wigs and some of them have their own out and some mix in between. So as the years goes on, then, they wear them. So,
And what
it's,
kind of backgrounds? I suppose, do you find that your clientele is a mix, like 50-50 European and black, or is it a different ratio?
Yeah, it is a different ratio. I mean, the European, they tend to wear, I've only got like, a few that do wear wigs. But most of them, the Europeans, they wear pieces in between, or they might have tape, hair
Yeah, the tape ones. Yeah.
extensions. So, yeah, I've got hair loss clients, I've got cancer patients, I've got cosmetic, people just want to change their look.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that there's a mixture, but wigs have come a long way,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's you can change it so it can be for anything, whether it's cosmetic or medical
Hmm.
reasons, or you just want to change.
You
Mm.
know, it's a good point, right? Because we very seldom look at that aspect of people wearing wigs. We always associate it. Well, most Joe public would associate it with fashion, style, and you forget that some people have actual health problems where it's become
Yeah,
it's become part of
absolutely.
their lifestyle. So they wear it in
Yes.
terms of maybe
Hmm.
in if they've suffered from alopecia, or if they, as you said, cancer patients, which have to have bespoke wigs that they can wear and things like that. You
Yeah.
don't really look at it from that point of view.
Yeah, it's because it's become more, it's the cosmetic side of it. People start to wear it a lot more. And as Lolly was saying earlier, it was in film. It's always been in film for centuries.
Yeah.
Mm.
And like Beyonce, I was actually talking to Beyonce's hairdresser the other day, and they took it, out to on the streets basically, where
Mhm.
it looked more natural, and it's just something that women should have a choice to wear and to look as natural as they can. So
Yeah,
I love wigs. I love
I do
wigs.
as well.
Love them all. I think it's good that you can change, and like
Hmm.
Lolly got beautiful blonding, and you can just rock it and say it's mine because I paid for it. So
There you
you
go.
know it's
Is it
not.
I
just
You
was
an
know,
is
say
it
I've
just
got
an
a
easy
receipt.
is it
I've
just
got
an
a
easy
receipt.
way out? Is it just an easy way out for you ladies just to kind of throw on a wig? Don't worry about your
We don't
hairstyle.
throw, Nick. We don't throw
no,
them
no.
on.
We place and we
There's a lot of
no,
work
Sorry,
no,
that
no.
goes into it.
I'm
you
going to ban
place
that
on a
word.
wig.
Throw a wig on. Like there's things you have to do when you put a wig on. You've got to put
Yeah,
the edges on. You got to make sure it
Yeah.
sits right, the
mm,
cuts right. Like there's a lot of work that goes into
it
this.
is.
Thank you,
It takes
Nick.
skill. And even that is the hygiene side of it as well, cleaning your scalp and your skin before
Okay.
even doing it. Um, I myself personally, I just use, like, I don't know if I can use the brand. It's a yellow bottle can, holding spray, it's super hold.
Mhm.
That gives me the freedom to change different every day. I mean, Verona, do you do the ones where you don't need to use anything at all, that which are called like the glueless ones?
Yeah. I
Do you
mean,
find they're quite popular now?
for me personally,
Mm,
I don't use glues or
mhm,
anything like that on my clientele. It's their choice if they want to
mhm,
use it. Um, because I just don't like the thought of adhesive. A
mm,
light glue or light gel is good.
mhm,
But yeah, it's how, because most of my wigs, that they're custom, then they're fit for the actual client, so it kind of snaps on.
mhm.
So yeah, me personally, I just don't like them because it suffocates the hairline, and I'm like deal with hair loss as well, so I protect the hairline. So yeah, kind of stay away from it as much as I can. Oh, there's me in China.
So are
Those are
you
my.
there? Are you ventilating there?
I was teaching them how to ventilate.
Hmm.
So that was in Qingdao in
Ventilate.
China. Yeah,
What's
so that
ventilating?
ventilating is when you're putting the hair into the net one by one, strand by strand. So it's a very intricate,
Okay.
and you have to have patience. But my children wouldn't
Hmm.
say that. You know, Mom ain't got no patience. But yeah, it is quite intricate work.
Hmm. So what kind of price range do you sort of have your wigs going for?
For weeks they can go anything from 100 up to, gosh, 3,000, 4,000. It really depends on your length, what you're having, the quality of hair,
Hmm.
synthetic, human, Remy, virgin, whether it's a color like yours. Everything depends on color, whether it's all lace all over, half, like there's so many different dimensions to a wig.
Yeah.
um but yeah, it's if you're having it medicated, it can range. It's a different range, but obviously the higher the price, the better the quality. And we also do repairs as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, but on a whole,
Mm.
wigs are in.
So, so
Fantastic.
that is really enlightening, because when you spoke about the intricacy of sewing the hair in individually into that is like, that must take a vast
Hours.
amount of time to
Hmm.
do that.
It can take me up to 60 hours to make
Wow.
a whole wig if I'm
Hmm.
doing it strand by strand in each little hole, because there's a special needle that you have to use and to loop it in and to make it stay in. Um, depends how thick and the density. There's so much work that
Mhm.
goes into it. So yeah,
Yeah.
Oh.
a lot of
Well,
work.
thank you
Okay.
very much,
Thanks,
Verona. What we're
Verona.
going to do, please do hang around because
Stay
as
with
we usually
us.
do, and you're used to it now by now, being a veteran of the show, or a
Yeah.
veteran guest, we're going to ask you to come back and have a little chat
Yeah,
with some of our
most
other guests. All
definitely.
right.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you very
We'll
much.
catch you shortly.
Well, there's another word that I've learnt today, Lolly. Ventilating. I thought that was something to
Ventilating.
do with. I thought that was something to do with breathing. You know, I was like, really ventilating? Is that something that you blow into the ear, into the hair, or something? You know?
Do you know at one point, I think it was Russian hair was more expensive in weight than gold
Really?
to buy. Yeah,
Russian
by the
hair?
gram, by the gram at one
What's so
point.
special about Russian hair?
I think this was something to do with the quality, the
Wow.
rarity, the supply and demand. There was all different things going
Okay.
on, but you know,
Okay.
we
Because
press on. Just some useless
I always
information.
thought that, I always thought that Brazilian hair was like one of the top when that
Yeah,
kind of.
it's down to preference.
Really?
Down to
Wow.
preference.
Okay.
Let's
I know
bring
a
on our
little
next
bit.
guest.
I know a little bit, little bit.
You like a little bit.
Anyway,
We got to say good
right.
evening to Marion Stewart as well. Thank you for
Yeah.
joining us, Marion.
Good evening, Marion. And good evening going out to Norma Ellis as well. Big up yourself. And also to Venetia Morgan. Good evening, ladies. Thank you for
Good
joining
evening.
us on So What Is. Just to let you aware as well, guys and girls, if you have any questions that you would like us to ask our guest panelists today, please do put them in the chat room. Post them on. We're on Facebook Live. Post them on YouTube, and myself and Lolly will pick them up and we'll get through them throughout the evening. Okay, so please do put your comments and chats in the chat room. Comments, it doesn't matter. If you have any questions, that's fine.
Yeah.
Righty, so on to the next one.
Yes.
I think we've been trying to get this young man on the show for a few episodes, and I can finally confirm that we have managed to get him out of his busy barber's chair and onto our platform. He is Mr. Steve from Diligence Barbers. Where is he?
Good evening.
Good evening,
Steve.
Steve.
Good
Here
evening.
he is. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you.
You are
How are
like
you both?
a
How are you both?
unicorn, Steve.
Very well,
rare
thank
in
you, Stephen.
appearance.
Sorry, I know I've just been crazy busy.
I know.
Imagine that, Stephen. We used to work together how many years ago? Since
How
when
many
I
years
was
ago?
14 or 15.
I couldn't
Really?
believe it when I saw.
Yeah.
I said, "Wow."
Wow.
And then I saw him over a little while ago, and now I'm seeing you again here. Look at this.
Wow. So, Steve, how's first of all, how's business? How's things in the barbering world?
Very well. I'm trying to get not kind of cut down a bit of the barbering stuff. Can't lie. You know, because the hair unit place is where I want to be.
The what place?
Hair unit, the hairstyles, the hair unit, the hair replacement.
Right. Okay. Yes. This is one of the intriguing things that I've been kind of reading when I've been reading your bio, and these, the uptake in men wearing weaves and the non-surgical weave for men. Tell us a little bit about that, Steve, because that is, like, to me, that's mind-blowing. Tell me a little bit about that.
Trust me, it is mind-blowing. It is. Everyone thinks, okay, this is just about good money. No, it's not. It's about confidence that these men are getting. It's amazing. You know, because what it is now, I find, because I've been doing this now for since I went to America to learn, about 3 years, nearly 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like the younger people are losing their hair much more quicker now. I don't know why. But it's just so happening so often, and they losing their confidence so much. Yeah. And then when giving them the hair unit stuff, oh my God, it's mind blowing.
So,
So-
how did you first get into it?
You know, I've told this story a few times. Yeah, what it was. There's a friend of mine, yeah, who was getting married.
Mhm.
Now, I had no interest in this. Showed me a picture, said, "Listen, I'm getting married," and his name's no, I don't say his name. He said, "Bro, please, you're my barber for a long time. I only want you to do it. I don't want to have to fly to America to do this." I said, "No, no interest." Then what happened was I went to Ibiza with a really good friend of mine, Wesley, and we sat down on the beach for about 7 hours. And he just said, we was talking, and he said, "You know what? You got to make this happen." Came back, spoke to Dean, spoke to another friend of mine, Shell. He said this is a good thing to do. I just went to America and I said, "You know what? No, sorry. I bought courses from Wade. Wade in America. Wade is amazing. And I learned from him. So I bought courses about maybe 4, 5, 6 times. They don't last long. They last 24 hours. You got to do what you got to do. Remember it. Then practice it. It's gone. Buy it again. It costs a lot of money and a lot of time where it was studying. And then I said, "You know what? Oh, I went to my friend's house. Was getting married. We stayed up from 10 o'clock till 6 o'clock in the morning. That first time practicing, it looked so good. 2 days later, did not look good. I said, no, I need to go and learn this. Went to the States, learned it from Wade. He had a news company that time, and then they filmed me like I was out there. Okay, this guy's come from the UK to learn it. I wasn't the first guy to come out there from the UK. Another guy done that as well, who's very good as well. Learn it there, come back. The first year, honestly, and I'll say this now, I've been doing it 3 years now. The first year I'd done it, I thought I was good. When I look back now, no, I wasn't. And I would like to say, if anyone watches this that had their hair unit done from me in the first year, I'll give it to them again now for free. And then they realize, hold on a minute, now this guy's amazing.
Things have changed, yeah.
Things have changed.
So you've improved your technique, is what you're saying?
Oh yeah, 100%. No.
Yeah. And
definitely.
what's okay? So we're just seeing photos of that now. So this is a non-surgical.
Your photo you're seeing it. That's actually quite an old one.
Right. Wow.
Oh, that's just barbering skills.
Yeah. Very creative. So the non-surgical aspect of this is like it's glue based, is it? Is that how it? And how long does it last?
I do mainly glue base, but you can get double-sided tape base as well.
Right. Wow.
I've done that as well.
And how
for me it doesn't quite hold as well as the glue. But there's stuff where you can take that's easier to come off and then put the same unit back on again.
Okay. So in terms of like you do like a weave or a piece, how long would that last in?
Well, what I say to my clients is, because what it is, I like them to come to me. And if they can't, because I've had loads of people come from abroad, so from Holland, from Germany, from Italy. So it's hard to come backwards and forwards. So then I try to give them like a little tuition video to say, listen, make sure your barber can do this. But if you're from the UK, I like to say, listen, first and foremost, when you come to get it done, the next trim you get from me is free, because I like to maintain it.
Yeah.
Right.
I like to look after it.
Yeah.
Now I've got some amazing clients I've had it on, I say 2 to 3 months, whatever. I've got clients I've had it on for like 6 months.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
so Steve, so how do they maintain it at home? Can they shampoo like normal? Do they?
Some people
What's
do.
the maintenance, general day-to-day maintenance?
Some people say, some people like, they like to go swimming and shampoo. I like to say no,
Hmm.
because you're not washing your hair. You're washing a unit. You're not washing your scalp.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You know, you're not washing your scalp. What's going to wash your scalp is when you take it off, you wash your scalp, you take off the glue, replace it.
Hmm.
That's where you wash it, and then we can condition the hair afterwards.
Hmm.
For me personally, everyone has different methods.
Mm.
Mm.
And in terms of like when you get a unit, Steve, would you does it come in like a certain state and then you just style it, or does it come?
See, the
Have you
things with
got?
the units here, and I have to break it down so people can understand and listen. Before COVID, yeah,
Mhm.
the hair that we were getting, and you will ask all the hair unit specialists around, especially in the US,
Yeah.
it was very, very good before COVID. After
Mhm.
COVID, and what happened is that North Korea closed their borders. They are the main
Hmm.
people that can make natural hair for Afro. What happened was when they
Wow.
closed their borders, which is still closed now,
Hmm.
we can't get the same hair. The hair now is still raw hair, but it's been permed from straight hair. And it's getting
Okay.
better and better and better slowly. But the hair,
Hmm.
and the lady before, maybe she can hear this from me and say, hold on a minute, but I can do this. I hope she
Mm.
can. And make it good Afro hair. But now the hair is not as good as what it was before COVID. We have a
Hmm.
problem. A
Yeah.
little bit. But it's getting better now. And now what's going to happen is when North Korea open their borders, we've had to adjust so much to this that I'll become even better,
Hmm.
Hmm.
if that makes any
I seem
sense.
to be losing Steve. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Yeah.
Total sense. Total sense. Okay, so Marlon says this is hair technology to another level. Keep it up, Steve.
Trying my best.
Ingenious.
You know what
Yeah.
it is?
And
It's,
so do you just a quick one, Steve? Do you think that this is going to be the techniques of the future to combat hair loss and baldness with young men?
of, yes, because you know what it is? Unless they get the hair, um, with the hair replacement, with when you go Turkey and you go stuff like that, and you can get full head of hair back. Because I know you can't. I've had people that have had it done. A lot of my clients, they've had this hair taken from the back of their head, put on the hair, but it doesn't quite come out the same because it's still thin. It's not right. And
Yeah.
I took a good friend of mine to get his hair done, and I had to go to Harley Street with him, and they explained it to me, and they said the hormonal on top of your hair while you lose your hair is different to the sides. So like
Hmm.
maybe Wayne Rooney, who's had his hair done maybe 4 or 5 or 6 times. I don't know. I might
Yeah.
be wrong. I don't want to get sued. He might have it
Yeah.
once. Cover myself. He get it done, but then the stress levels, and it's stress that makes you go bald and stuff like this, and other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It grabs onto that again, and you go bald again, and you got to do it again. But then how many
Mm-hmm.
times are you going to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ends up quite expensive.
It is, but this is expensive as well. But
Mm.
the thing is that you're getting a look of people don't know you've got
Hmm.
uh, a, 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 a unit on.
Hmm.
Mm.
But
Mm.
I say that, and I told them this: you can't just put a unit on and then that's it. That's me. No, 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 no. It's not your hair. It's a wig.
Hmm.
It's a unit. You have to look after it like it's not yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's not yours.
Well, that is very insightful, Steve. Thanks for enlightening us on that, because I always found this intriguing, and I know that, as I said, when you hear about men weave, it's something that most of us, but when you're speaking from a person who's got hair, it's easy to frown upon these kind of techniques and say, oh, I don't agree with that, but you're not in that situation, so it's easy to cast judgment.
Can I give you a story as well? Yeah, because I remember.
Very quickly before we bring in our next guest.
Very quick for the next guest. I remember when I first done it, yeah, and I put the pictures of my friend out when I first done it. It looked good, but it went around a women's group, like before and after, and they were so upset.
Really?
Yeah. Look what you're doing. You're fooling us. He doesn't look. He doesn't really look like this. It was a big.
Wow.
It was big. I had a big argument.
Is it?
Wow. We're going to talk about that with the ladies.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
We're going to. So don't go anywhere, Stephen.
I might have
Lolly, that reminds.
Because I've got a family that I need to do, and I'll come back on.
Yes.
Please do. Please do, because we got some. We want to ask some.
I know you still got a few more guests.
Yes.
We've got 2 more guests, and we want to ask some questions and answers, Steve.
Yeah, so I'll come back on in a little while.
Yes.
Lovely. Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Lolly, see that? The women are getting upset, saying that us men are fooling them with our hair pieces.
Hairline fishing. They were saying that they're hairline fishing.
Hat fishing, see?
The hairline fishing.
Good evening, Georgina Davis. Thank you for joining us. Well, there you go, Lolly. As I said, the new techniques and the younger guys, because we know that a lot of younger men are losing their hair. And it's good to hear that, when Steve says it's not about just like the quality of your hair. It's a physiological. So even if you get a transplant, it can still, the stress levels and the physiological aspect of it can lead to that you losing that as well.
And especially as well, where they take the hair from, it's different textures.
Yes.
And different thickness. So
Absolutely.
It may not be what somebody expects.
Wow.
Should we bring on our next guest?
Let's do it, Lolly. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Right. So let's see.
Do you want me to
go ahead?
Introduce?
Go ahead.
You're
the man with the intros today, aren't you?
I've been practicing this name all evening, so I've got to say it. Right. Our next guest is the lovely delectable from Soul Divine VIP Salons, Miss Gadil Mambote.
You did it.
Yeah, you did it.
Hi, Gadil.
Hi, Nick. Hi, Lily.
How are you?
Thank you for joining us.
I'm good.
Yeah, thank you for joining us on So What Is. I was saying to Lolly, I was having a look at your Instagram page.
Yeah.
And it's really impressive, I must say. Some of the styles that you have done that you wouldn't even really look at them and think that it's a wig. It's really impressive.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your business and about your experiences in here in beauty industry.
Well, my name is Gadil. I've been hairdressing over 20 years. I will say myself, I'm more diverse of hairstyles regarding wigs and everything.
Yeah.
So with me, it's like, although there's closures, there's wigs and stuff, so I'm more creative at the same time. What I do, I make different like wigs apart from lace, closure, frontal, and all this. So I'm more mix and match basically.
And you teach in colleges and stuff, do you?
Yeah, I have done it in the past. I have also shared my experience in most colleges and like kids who don't want to go to school, they want to learn practical. So I offer like voluntary back in the days and stuff. I've also go with my experience, I've entered prisons and stuff to go and give a little bit of knowledge into hairdressing. I've also traveled the world to do hairdressing, share a little bit of technique, and wedding as well. Sometimes you get clients who wants like a wedding wigs. So we're very Source Divine is very creative in all sorts of hair.
And are you shop based or are you just like a online business?
No, I'm shop based. I'm based in Seven Sisters in Tottenham.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So and what was the inspiration behind Source Divine?
Whoa, Source Divine. Source Divine is it's a very a brand where it's come from very far. Where how can I say it? Sort of it's coming from. It's hairdressing has always been my passion. I mean, I've studied in England since a very young age. I mean, I got the opportunity to study in one of good colleges back in the days down Embankment, and I just took it off there. I just took it from step to step, and then just I got carried away from
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, oh, is
Hello,
Lolly
did you hear
disappeared?
me?
Yeah, I could hear you. I think Lolly
Sorry.
disappeared. I was waiting. I thought Lolly was waving at me there, but she
Oh,
seems to have disappeared. But
sorry.
okay, so
No.
in terms of like, obviously you've been doing this for 20 plus years, Gadil, yeah. What have you noticed in terms of like how things have changed? Because obviously you've embraced social media in terms of like reaching a younger audience, I suppose, on Instagram and so that, yeah.
Yeah, a lot have changed. I mean, coming from maybe my colleagues, everybody will like what we've learned back in the days and what's trending now is totally a different thing. Like I found that our time we learned more theory, more
Yeah.
understanding how the hair works and more understanding how how your scalp work and everything. But these days is more, as we say, it's more about weave on, it's more about just frontal and stuff. So there's not really a lot of like customer care of the actual hair of your actual scalp.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot that have changed. Even in the salons, there's a lot there's a difference. There's a very huge difference.
And also in terms of like the younger audience and the younger people, do they still adopt the same techniques as when you started, or do you find that they have a different way of doing stuff when it comes to wigs and weaves and things?
I think there's a differences. There's a difference, but to be honest, there's it depends. It depending on what who's doing what in the sense of like the way we were probably told how to do a weave or how to do, back in the days we used to do like those special tongue where you put it inside the oven and you take it out. So
Yes.
things was a bit different. So I think what was better, I prefer back in the days, but obviously
Really?
I prefer back in the days in the sense of like we had more conscious of what exactly we're doing. Now it's just it depends really on the hairstyle basically. Now it's just quick and go. Like we
Do
will
you
go.
find, Goodell, do you think do you find like now it's based on coming off the back of what you said,
Yeah.
before it was more of a more of a service. You could go with your hair just taken
Yes.
out. There's shampoo for you. You have that
Yes.
steam before you have a conversation. It was a whole different kind of
Thank
ballgame.
you.
And like you said,
Yeah.
with ovens, you've got a lot going on. It's busy.
Yes.
You're there for a couple of hours. You have a laugh. Your experience. You feel great when you walk out. Well,
Yeah,
hopefully you
I definitely agree.
do.
Before it was more. I'm not saying now there's not customer service, but before the the service was more like you go in, everything, the shampoo, as what you just said, everything was really like laid out properly.
Yeah.
But now you probably can go is like either a salon where they don't offer that service.
Mhm.
They don't offer that service. You just have to do a quick weave on like your
Yeah.
hair. It has to be already washed or
Yes.
already. So the service has changed a little bit. What I'm trying to say is that back in the days, like in my time, what we learned, I would say we learned more like how to take care of a customer, how to understand the body language, the customer service, and everything. Like it was more real. But
Yeah.
now it's just we're learning fast track basically.
And it's like more like a conveyor belt kind of thing. Because I've
Yeah.
been somewhere where it was literally like you almost deterred from coming with your hair unwashed or unplait, because the price to like wash and plait your hair was something crazy, like £50 just to wash and put some what I call Leroy's, some straight back cane rows or something like that.
Yeah.
And by the time that you've paid for the unit and then the installation and all this sort of stuff, it mounts up to quite a lot. So I think they, in order to sort of like what I call sometimes rack 'em, stack 'em and pack 'em, and to have as many people sort of like coming through to keep the tills ringing, their levels of service has dropped. And I think sometimes that causes a problem to give the wigs and how things look a bit of a stigma, because they are rushing.
Yeah.
You know, so we do have that, oh my gosh, it's lifting here, this is there, you know, that you don't get that time to sort of like get knowledge of how to, you know, how to maintain. And I think that is what's missing. I do agree.
Yeah, there's a lot of lack of customer service, you know, aftercare. How can you manage this? Yes, it's not all about the hair just looking perfect, perfection and stuff, but where a client can go back to the house that they don't know how to take care of it. So that thing is also lacking. It's like, you know, as you said, it's just boom, boom, cash in hand, that's it, go. But what we've learned before, or where I was working in a salon where I got trained back in the days, it was like your boss or your employee, they see like you're getting monitored by when the clients walked in, like how you sit them, how you offer them a tea, how they sit down. So customer service was really the key, where I think this industry now, customer service is going a bit low. So I still try. So sometimes, although we're on the game, but we just have to go back a little bit, where I try my best, to be honest. I always say customer service is the key.
Stick to the roots, pardon the pun. See what I did there?
Yeah, I definitely agree, because I don't just have the young generation. I have middle age. I have elderly people. I have all type of culture. I have Asian. I have all sorts of like European. They come and stuff. So with me, it's more, you know, you just have to keep up. You really have to keep up.
It's an experience.
Yeah, it's a very big one. It's a very big one.
Do you know, it's funny because even when you talk about preparation and customer service, I would never think, as a person myself, I don't know, you know, everyone's different, but I would never think of going to the barbers without washing my hair first. And that's just like, to me, that's just etiquette. You know, you're going to the barbers, or you go to the hairdressers, you should sort of like, you know, have a bit of consideration for the person that's going to be doing your hair and for the other customers.
Definitely. It counts. It counts. I really agree with that. It counts. As I say, customer service is the key, because, you know, sometimes all these clients, when they're coming all over, basically. Some of them, they just come in your place, even though you're the best at it, or you're doing your hair, like you're really, you know, you're 100% of what you're doing. But some of them, they just come to you just for you, just to give them that, you know, special treat, and they just want to feel like loved. Because some of them out there, although they got the money to spend, but they just want that, you know, they want that one-to-one. So I always say with our hairdressing business, it's not just where somebody just come, you cut the hair, you do them a wig and you go. You build a really relationship with a client, or where, you know, I can sit here and name the matter of secret, the matter, you know, we're counselors. We're counselors.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, I think you've chose a very appropriate name for your business, Source Divine, because
Source Divine. Yeah, it's Source Divine. Source Divine. Obviously, to cut it short, is Source Divine VIP. So I forgot my owner. It's Vision, Inspiration, Perfection. As you can see on that picture, I like to create. So I like to create. I like to bring in something where, you know, it's unseen and it's wow, basically. So I've done a lot along the line. We've entered competition, the Black Hair Beauty. So we've done a lot.
Listen, good deal. It's been enlightening and educational speaking to you. Please do hold on.
Thank you.
And join in with our little questions and answers at the end of the segment.
Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you, good deal. Wow. That you know, that hairstyle, the last hairstyle that they put up of Goodil's, it was like a African lioness. Look at this. Wow.
Beautiful, isn't it?
That is tremendous. Wow.
We can do that for you, Nick.
Yeah.
We can do that for you.
Lolly, I don't think there's going to be any kind of at my stage of life. I don't think there's going to be any improvement on where I am.
We'll just have to talk to Steve.
It's all downhill from here, Lolly.
Let's have our next guest. I do believe we have Kaz. Is it Kaz we have actually?
It's
Yes.
Kaz, yes.
Hi.
Yeah.
Kaz Mac. Hello, Kaz.
Hey, Kaz.
How are you
Kaz
guys?
Mac, how are you?
I'm well. I'm well. I'm well. I'm well. Been
Thank-
watching
Thank
the
you for
show. It's
joining
been
us.
great so far. Thank you for having me.
So
So-
now chat show.
Yes. Now chat
Tell
show.
us about that.
Okay, so Now Chat Show is a platform where I interview myself and my beautiful co-host who's watching, Janelle Rayburn.
Mhm.
We interview inspirational individuals within the community who are doing extraordinary things and just sharing their story with those who wish to listen and learn from them. So currently we're on iLive Radio, where we have a weekly show, and that's on Fridays 4 to 7 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your hair is I like your hair.
Thank
The
you. I
short-
do my hair myself.
Uh-huh.
I used to wear all the wigs, the weaves, etc. And I believe Hazel brought me on to the show, basically just talking from like a consumer perspective.
Mhm.
And even though I have qualified as being a hairdresser, and that was many moons ago,
Mhm.
but in terms of how things are with a lace front and everything else, it's so different from back when I used to wear like weaves and wigs, etc. But I guess for me, it's a thing where I just like having my hair natural. Every now and then I do like to put on the wigs, which I think is great. But obviously everybody wears the wigs depending on what their preference is, if they're just like protecting their hair, or if it's a case where they just want to change their look, do you know what I mean? Kind of thing. But I guess where I'm coming from, it's more what myself and Hazel was discussing behind the scene was about guys protesting about women wearing weaves, not wanting women to wear weaves. Whereas I was saying, well, I don't really agree with that, because I know that I'm natural, even though I say natural and my hair is bleach, but there is still a lot of guys that won't really go for somebody like myself or women with natural hair, because they still want to have that long flowy hair, they want the wig look, etc. Even though they contest and say, no, I want my woman to have her hair natural. It's not always the case. I think that's a lie, to be quite honest.
So I'm going to throw the question out there. I don't know your relationship status, but do you find that you get more attention how you look now or before?
Definitely before. When I used to wear my long flowy wigs and my weaves and everything, I used to get pure attention. Now I'm lucky if a black guy really steps to me. I'm just keeping it real.
Really?
Really?
I'm
you put that down to your
surprised
hairstyle?
at that.
Sorry?
And you put that down to your hairstyle?
Yeah, I think definitely with my hairstyle, because when I used to wear my hair with, like, say, long weaves, with it short one side, shaved, and long on the other side, I would get more attention. Now that I've decided to shave my hair, bleach it, etc., and sometimes even if I don't bleach it, I don't get as much attention. I very, very, very rarely get like a look in, a little chirps or anything off the picture. You understand? I'm keeping it real. I'm lucky if I get that. It's more of the occasion or anybody of the opposite race that will more look at me or give me a compliment.
Yeah. I'm shocked at that. I'm very shocked
Why,
at that
Nick?
because,
Why, Nick?
I am because because a lot of us we talk about this natural, we love this natural, and we and we've touched on this before, Lolly, where we say us men, we can be so hypocritical because we talk about we love our natural women, we love it, and then when a woman is natural, then it's because what I just a kind of like an observation here, Kaz, and from what I see is you have a very distinct and maybe powerful look, and maybe even I might add maybe even what should I say? What's the word I'm looking for? Where somebody feels like threatened, not intimidated. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. So maybe that's what it is, because I think short natural hair is a powerful statement. It's a statement to say I'm comfortable with who I am, with how I represent myself, and take it or leave it. And I think that a lot of people, a lot of men especially, will be perturbed by that and maybe a little bit intimidated, as you said.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I think that's the reason why the approach is very minimal in comparison to how when I used to wear like the long weaves and the wigs, etc. Which, to be quite honest, I will still drop my long wigs every now and then. But ultimately, this is how I go out on road all the time. This is how I look. Do you know what I mean? Not all the time I'm going to be wearing the makeup. Obviously, I've got the makeup on because I'm on a show. So it's just, everything's just natural. Do you get what I'm saying? So not everybody is going to be 100% feeling that look, but that's just how life is, isn't it?
I think you wear it wonderfully, my darling.
She does.
You wear it wonderfully, honestly.
Marion says your hair looks amazing.
It does.
Thank
really
you.
Does.
I just want to big up my barber Devon, who shaves it and I bleach it.
Oh, there you go. Should we bring on the other ladies as well and conversation? Let's all have a conversation about this, because I think this is very important and interesting point as well.
Well, to say good evening going out to Lady Charmaine. Good evening, Lady Charmaine. Thank you for joining us on the So What Is.
Welcome back, good deal.
Hello.
Ladies.
Go on, Lolly.
No, go ahead.
So I was going to say, ladies. So do you believe that by what Kaz was saying? Do you believe that with a certain style comes an air of confidence? Does depending on what style you're wearing, do you feel less or more confident about going out and how you look?
Well, for me, I had Kaz's hairstyle for about 5 years, and I was very confident in there. Kaz, you're a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And the guys that's not looking, they're not even worth. You're absolutely beautiful and stunning. You're rocking it. You know, you're confident. It just proves that I'm comfortable in my skin. So yeah, when I had my blonde hair, oh gosh, it was the best hairstyle. You know, I just put it black when I had my son. But I loved my blonde days, and I went to my barbers and bleached it. The whiter the better, and I had it all done. So for me, you are who you are. You can't just be somebody else. That's how you are feeling at the moment. And if they want to feel intimidated, then they're not worth you for you at all. You know.
Was it India Irie that says, "I am not my hair"?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think you look beautiful. I love it.
She looks stunning.
Gosh, you guys don't put this all on me. You know, we're having a conversation.
No. But it's just where we are. It's just where we are.
Eddie, I rock my hair short like yours. I mean, I don't do the color, but I like my hair shaved down. So anything I put on, I'm comfortable. It's all about confidence. So you.
And you know what, Kaz? Sorry, if I could just get in. It's not really about yourself. It's about the perception of people. Yeah. You know, so it's how we judge each other by how we look and how we kind of like we put our own perspective on people, because we want people to look how we want them to look, and not accepting them for how they are. Yeah. And that's a big problem in our community, especially. We're very judgmental when it comes to things like this.
Very much so.
Yeah,
I agree with you, Nick. 100%.
Yeah. So where are we? Have we got?
We're down to our last 5 minutes. So let's have a quick check of our guests. Wendy Baker. Good evening, Wendy. Thank you for joining us. She says, "Kaz, you look confident and natural."
Thank you,
a
Wendy.
lot of confidence there. A lot of compliments, Kaz.
Norma Ellis just said, "I've attached a gone short. I've attached. I don't know. I think she's saying that she's gone short again after COVID, and she's loved it." Norma, I've not worn a wig since the 70s.
Wow.
So
they're a lot different now.
Indeed. Because sometimes you can't even tell a wig, can't you? There's some of them are so short, and you know you can't tell a wig these days. You have to really know your hair.
I think even when they are expensive, and I was having a conversation with one of our producers backstage, and there are ways now that good wigs are affordable. You've got, I think it's Klarna. You've got Klarna. You've got is it ClearPay? All these different things where people can literally see a wig for £1,200, and then they can break it down into manageable payments, and they've got something that's going to last them for so long, and this is why you're seeing so much better quality coming out, and people's wigs are looking a lot better because there are these kind of services, because there are a lot of money. And when you're seeing a lot of ladies walking around with a certain quality or standards, you don't want to go anywhere without it being that kind of standard, because you think the stand next to her hairline. Or do you know what I mean? I want mine to move or behave in the same way. So there is kind of that bit of pressure, and it is a bit of an expensive what's the word, it's expensive service to maintain. But I think it's something that does give people confidence. It does something that gives people a bit more time, protects their hair, so many different reasons. And I say, however you wear your hair, as I said earlier, I am not my hair. So I applaud anybody, however they wear their wigs or weaves or cane rows, whatever it is. Just be confident.
Yeah, and they give them. Oh, sorry.
So no, go ahead, Gadil.
And they give them that confidence, as what our brother was saying, that a lot of young men are also losing their hair. I don't know if you ladies agree. There's also lots of young, girls are really, before losing hair, you will think maybe somebody needs to be older age or something. But I've noticed that like most of the young generation, they're actually losing their hair. There's common, like alopecia is more common now. Like you will think alopecia will be like, maybe at older age or anything, but it's getting more out there now. And wig is like the confidence. It's they're using it for self-confidence and all this, because there's a lot of hair loss out there these days.
Thank
Jenny
you
Patel,
so much.
Jenny Penny says, let me just bring it up. Did I miss that comment? Go Kaz, beautiful inside and out. Check out her chat show, guys. So many great topics. Okay. You have a fan there. Elaine Rose, this has been very informative. Great show, everyone. Thank you very much, Elaine Rose. Thank you. I'll just like to say it as well, for all of us in terms of our culture, right? We are so many different things, and we represent so many different aspirations for many. And I think the reason why our young people are now probably losing their hair, because they're much more stressed than we ever were. I think that's my kind of
Yeah.
I think that they live a much more stressful life than we ever did.
Yeah.
Not saying that we don't have our hardships.
On that note, Nick, I think we're reaching the end of the show.
It
goes so quick. We definitely have to have you ladies back again.
Indeed.
Lolly, I've got to say, your hair is bad. I'm loving that wig.
Thank you very much. Thank you
lovely,
very much.
Isn't it?
Something I got
Thank you,
out of my
ladies. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on and just discussing these topics. Thank you very much for sharing your experience and your businesses. And we'll be putting up all your individual businesses up in the chat room for people to get in contact and stuff.
And also, ladies, as well, I'm not sure if you're busy, but there is some people still in the chat room. I don't know if you want to share some of your information, or you want to give somebody any advice. If there's anybody, if you've got 5 minutes, if you'd like to speak to those in the chat room, anyone's got any kind of questions.
Sorry, I just quickly want to say, in terms of like wearing wig, I mean, they're beautiful, but I would still advise people to look after their hair, because hair loss can be caused by correct looking after. And I'm an advocate on restoring hair. I do lots of things to do with restoring hair loss. So some of them is self-damage. And always go to somebody if you're going to attach your wig. I know people do it at home, but like we've had the episode of the Gorilla Glue and all kinds of adhesives that's not really the human head. So and we've got young ladies whose hairline starts from there. None of my clients, like that's why I don't really encourage people to do the glue and the ghost glue and things like that. People are allergic to things. So and also, you know, we do things where we do silk liners, so we don't suffocate the line. Hairdressers, we need to step up in
Yeah.
kind of how we're putting these on people's head, because we're causing the damage by just saying, right, we're doing hydrate the actual hairline. I've got my hairline. I've been doing wigs for 23 years, and so has all my clients. So we need to really just not do it cosmetically. Look after our hair underneath,
Yeah.
as well as we do
That
it.
is a great place. That is a great message to end on,
That's it.
Verona.
Yep.
Great message to end on.
Thank
you
you
very
very
much,
much.
ladies. That's our hour. We are
Thank
out
you
of
for
time.
having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure. And all the best to all of you in your prospective businesses as well. Lolly,
Yeah.
that has been a great show. It's been a great show.
Were you enlightened?
Absolutely. I learn everything. I learn something new every time we do this, Lolly. 'Cause,
So
you
no
know,
more throwing on wigs.
No. I stand corrected. Just a quick one. Norma Ellis just says stress and the young using drugs is causing more hair loss in the younger generation. Yeah, it's another. Maybe that's a topic for another day.
Yes.
Lolly, you have been fantastic as usual.
Likewise, Nick.
Yeah, thank you very much. And do remember you can catch us on channel 182, channel 7, Sky 182 every Saturday at 10:30 for a repeat of this show. Do remember as well, subscribe, like, and share. That's what we want.
And hit that notifications button so you always know when we're live.
Absolutely. Lolly, been a
Nick.
pleasure. We just wish everyone a good night, good evening, and have yourselves a great weekend, guys and girls. Ciao.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.